Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Jeez, man. Yo. I don't know how things just change up on here, man. Everything was fine my last live stream. I did a test record, everything was fine, and now all of a sudden, just doesn't work. I don't freaking get it. I don't get it, man. How about now? Can you hear me right now? It says main mic. I got the main mic on this one. Can you hear me now, Sang? Alright, we got Hall up in here. Hall, are you the one from freaking IG that was talking to me? Hall, that's you. That gotta be you. Cause the first three letters is the same. The first three letters of your name is the first is the what you call it from is your little acronym on Instagram too. I think it's the main mic that I gotta have on here. Main mic. I think the main mic is the one that works. Okay, I got you. So Hall, I want to welcome you to one of my live streams. I don't get up here very often. I used to be up here so much more. I don't know, like months ago, couple years ago and stuff like that. No IG in the chat. Saying we got to, man. But I used to be up here a lot more, Hall. And by the way, I'm gonna call you by your last name because that's how I do in the army, right? But I don't know. It's been a minute since I did a live stream. This live stream is kind of just for you. Hopefully, I get a little bit of traction and some other people see what's going on. I'm definitely gonna take this. I'm recording it right now, so the part where I start talking about like your question and stuff like that, and I'm gonna give you a big shout out and everything too. But I like this. I want to go back over here. I want to go back over here. I like it here for this reason. Y'all can still hear me, right? Hope so. Saying said, I swear I didn't do it. But yeah, Hall, this live stream, a portion of this live stream is just for you. Okay, so I got to give a big shout out to Nakia Hall. I hope I'm saying that right. All right, on IG, I think her name is Nak or Knock. I'd prefer to say Knock, but it's NAK, which stands for it's something and Keen. I tried to remember it. Let me see if I can find it real quick, man. And I like the acronym, man. Noble and Keen. That's what it is, man. So big shout out to Knock for hitting me up on IG. 10 days, something like that. We left on May 10th, and I just got back yesterday afternoon. All right, so the field, man, the field was kind of wild. And Hall, I hope you're getting everything that you can from this, right? So I'm gonna let you know what it's like when we go to the field. When we go to the field, Hall, that's when we go away from our normal work area. We go away from home. You might have to sleep outside in the woods in your tent, your sleeping bag and stuff like that, your personal tent. But you go away for a little bit. It could be 2, 3 days, 5 days. Like I said, I was going 10 days. Sometimes it'll be in state. Sometimes it'll be out of state. I went out of state. I went all the way back to Kentucky. But you go and you just train all day, all night. Now, of course, you wake up in the morning. You eat your breakfast. You'll train in between after breakfast and before lunch. You'll eat your lunch. And then in between lunch and dinner, you'll also do some more training. And sometimes even after dinner, when normally you'll be laying down for the night chilling, you might be out doing some training. That's how we do as 12 Charlies. And by the way, Hall, I want to introduce you to my homie Sang. So we got Sang up in the chat right now. Sang, he was one of my very first super fan members. And you see he got the little drill sergeant hat next to his name. But or if you're looking at it in the chat up there, you'll see he has like those 3 coins, those coins or whatever next to his name. So he's a super fan member. He gives me my little bit of extra support. But I've seen him in person. He's come out here to where I'm stationed at, and I've helped him with some things. He's come and helped me out with some things, and we've been keeping in contact ever since. So, but he's a good dude. I want to introduce you to him. And he's in the chat right now too. So, but yeah, you'll go out and you'll go do your training. Noble and King, there you go. And by the way, there's a big lag from when I actually say something to when y'all see it on YouTube. So I don't know, if you ask me a question and it takes me a while to get to it, just know it's because it takes a minute for me to get back to y'all. I might see it directly when y'all post it, and as I answer it, y'all are gonna see it, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes later after I actually answer. So don't think I'm not answering your questions and stuff. But yeah, like I said, you'll go do your training in the field and stuff like that. Sometimes, like I said, when you are getting ready to bed down for the night, you're normal, you know, when you're at home, you might go to bed 9, 10 o'clock. We're still doing training sometimes. In fact, most of the time, we're still doing training. But that's the same way it was for this field that I went to. Only thing I don't like about this field was things weren't really planned like they should have been planned. And we couldn't get a approved schedule, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't have a concrete, like, this is what we're gonna do on our first day out there. This is our timeline, our first day out there. We had something, but when we got out there, it freaking changed. And that's one thing that you got to deal with, Hall. Sometimes in the Army, things just change. You might say on the 21st of October, y'all are doing this, and on the 21st of October that gets here, and y'all are switching it up, doing something totally different. That's how it works sometimes. But for this field that we went to in Fort Knox, right, at first, we didn't know where we were going to sleep at. We didn't have any freaking, any sleeping quarters or sleeping arrangements. So the area that we trained at, that we did most of our training, was on the Salt River in Kentucky. And what we do on the Salt River is 12 Charlies. We'll put our boats on that water, and then we'll go upstream. We'll go upstream, and when we get upstream, the furthest upstream that we can go, that's when we do what we call our riverine, or our boat live fire. So we'll put a machine gun on the boat, and as we're on the boat, we're shooting at targets that we set up on the banks and stuff like that, on the banks of the river, different banks. So we did a pretty good amount of that while we were out there. I even have video of myself actually getting on the machine gun on that M249 Bravo, on the M249, my bad, getting up there and shooting the machine gun at the target and stuff like that. I'm gonna put a video up a little bit later with me actually, y'all see me actually getting up in there shooting the guns and stuff like that. And I'll probably take some of this video and chop it and edit it up and put it up in there too. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But we did a lot of the boat live fire. We did some good maintenance on our vehicles that we had down there while we were down there. We also did the 249 range. We tried to make a qualification range, but nobody freaking qualified. We didn't get not one soldier that qualified. And we had 3 that were supposed to go out there. Those are actual 249 gunners. But we put almost every soldier that we had out there that could shoot on the machine gun, and nobody freaking qualified. And I think the reason why is because we were using the sights that were on the weapon. We put ACOGs on these freaking 249s, and we were using those, and it's hard to see, and you can't zero them, you know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of different soldiers jumping in and jumping off of them, or whatever the case may be, but they got to be zeroed to your eye. So if your reticle is down here, if your reticle is down there, you adjust it so that the reticle is up and it's actually shooting, you know what I mean? Like, you have to adjust the reticle on the sight so that you can get in there and actually have it just for you. But different, or y'all got one vehicle that just got a flat tire. How are y'all gonna? So they wanted to see how we were gonna react they wanted to see how we were gonna react to the different little monkey wrenches that they was sprinkling in on our game and stuff like that. But we did really, really good with the op board and with the with the sand table and all that good stuff. We did really good with that. But that that took most of the day because we had to rehearse, we had to get it together how we were gonna do it, and of course I got a little nervous because as a platoon sergeant, there's specific things that I have to brief in the op org. So I get to do the sustainment part. Any kind of supplies that we need, food, ammo, anything like that. There's a couple different things that we go over. Got Roxon up in the building. What's up, Roxon? I got a huge lag, just gonna tell you right now. Okay. So yeah. But I had to brief my part, and of course I got a little nervous, but once I got it down pat and knew like what it was I had to brief, I just briefed it and that was it. And then of course I have my own position that I play in the whole convoy and where I'm gonna go during the mission and all that good stuff. It's just a lot of stuff. But this field, it was bad because of the planning. But we stayed motivated out there, man. My whole platoon, which was only actually half of my platoon, but we was out there doing what we had to freaking do, man. It was good. I think we reacted good to what was going on and how we were doing it, even though it didn't go as planned how we wanted it. But we still made it happen. We even had like our very last day and most of the second to the last day, we just had that time to chill. And it was also cool because we moved from one location to another location. We got a new building to sleep in. We were sleeping on the floors the whole time. I had this huge bay. Everybody was in there, and that's not a problem at all. Sleeping on the floor was a little bit of a problem because it's just very uncomfortable. But, we made it work, man. I got inside my sleeping bag. I got nice and bundled up. I put my little sleeping mat down. I put my poncho liner. I slept on top of my poncho liner. I used my actual poncho as a pillow. We was in there every freaking night, man. There was no showers out there at all. No freaking showers. If we wanted a shower, we had to find some way to freaking do it ourselves. So, and we didn't get a shower until that second to the last day, and then that last day before we left. That's when we all, if we wanted to take a shower, even the morning of that we left, yesterday morning, if we wanted to take a shower, we still could have. But yeah, it was just wild. It was wild being out there this time, and I think my platoon, all of us that were out there, handled it very, very well, man. Handled it very well. So Hall is asking like, what's it like? Specifically, big shout out to Hall, by the way, man. She hit me up on Instagram and she asked me, and I feel like I go over this a lot. People asking me what's my job like, what's it like a natural, a normal day in the Army, stuff like that. But she said, hello, I'm thinking of joining the military as a 12 Charlie and been doing research. I only see your videos that pop up about the MOS. Can you tell me about it? Do you like it? What is the pros and cons? Would you change your MOS? Anything that helps. So I'm gonna try my best, Hall, to answer all of those questions as well as I can. Okay. As far as me liking it, I like my job, especially as you move up in rank. I mean, I think everybody wants a point in their job where they can kind of like kick back and not have to do much. That's kind of me as a platoon sergeant. My job, whenever we go on any kind of mission, if we do a specific mission, my job as a platoon sergeant is to hold down the casualty collection point. That's basically it, man. I hold down the casualty collection point. So anybody that gets hurt, medevac type of stuff, that's what I do. Of course, training people up to doing their certain positions is also my job too, if they don't know it, which I put a lot of focus on my staff sergeants, my section leaders. I let them do all the training, and I throw my little salt here, my little spritzel here and there whenever we do our training. Didn't zero them correctly since the machine gun ranges typically don't have 25 meter zero range. So I just sprinkle my little salt here, my little sprinklets on the training whenever my section leaders and whenever my team leaders, my E5s and my E6, my sergeants and my staff sergeants, whenever they're doing the training, I'll help out a little bit. But for the most part, I just want to help develop them to be, as best as they can in their rank and in the next rank. But as far as what our job is, what we do, I think it's cool, man. I enjoy it. I really enjoy operating the boats. I really enjoy doing the improved river and bridge. I don't that much enjoy doing the dry support bridge. Well, I do enjoy it, but we just don't do it that much, man. I love how the dry support bridge truck, how it transforms from everything being all locked up, and then you just see it transform, boom, doing all this crazy stuff, and then we start launching bridge through it. Put the bridge down on the ground, pull the truck out of there, boom, you have a bridge. I like working as a team. I like getting up and doing PT every morning for the most part. But yeah, it's all good. I like my job. I may have changed my MOS when I was younger in the Army, first joining in the Army. Like I said, I think everybody wants like a nice easy job where you can just kind of sit back and chill. I'm the type of soldier, like, I wouldn't mind working in the office all day. I wouldn't mind being like, I don't think I would mind being a 42 Alpha where I could just be on the computer in the office. You know what I mean? If I have a chance to work indoors and stay indoors, I'd rather do that. I don't like working out in the cold and in the rain. That's just me. So for those reasons, I probably chose the wrong MOS, because you're going to be doing a lot of working outside. I like the heat, but I don't like the cold and the rain and stuff like that. This is an MOS where you're going to be doing that. And I hope I'm hitting on the pros and the cons and all that good stuff while I'm telling you all this, okay? But in general, yes, I like my job. And like I said, your job position just switches as you go through the ranks. You'll, be at different levels of leadership. You may even be, taken out from being on the line. We call it a line platoon. Like, you actually have a line of trucks that you go outside and you have to maintain, and that's one of your main things that you do. You can go from being in a line platoon to being in like operations, or being in recon, where you'll be sitting in the office and you'll be helping, making sure that everybody's awards are going, going through, making sure that everybody's leave is done how it's supposed to be. Making sure that soldiers are getting to the right NCO, or not NCO, but the right Army schools and stuff that they want to go to. If they want to go air assault, sapper, whatever the case may be, equal opportunity, sexual harassment, assault, the sexual harassment and assault response program, all that stuff, reporting and all that good stuff like that, whatever. All those different kinds of schools that we have, field sanitation school, anything, all those kind of schools. BLC, ALC, SLC, all of that good stuff. You may go from being in a line platoon where you're now in operations or something like that. You're sitting up in there in the office all day. I go by the recon office sometimes, and I see the same soldiers in there that work in there. Sometimes they're just not doing anything. So I mean, if that's your job, that's your job. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes those soldiers got to find stuff to do. So again, just hitting on pros and cons as we go about it. Okay. But yeah, maintenance every Monday. There's a lot of soldiers that have appointments, so you're shorthanded and stuff like that. That's a con of my job, and I think that's just an Army thing all around. But if soldiers are doing their right thing and going to their appointments like they're supposed to, when they're supposed to, and coming right back to work, then the shorthanded stuff won't be a freaking issue. There's so many things in the Army that it's the same out there in the civilian world. But I don't know, man. A lot of things just suck. A lot of things, it's just normal stuff that you do that you could be dealing with anywhere. You know what I mean? To me, I think the biggest thing that we hit up, and the reason why it's like so bad in the Army, is because we know that there are standards and stuff like that. We expect you to like be a soldier, go to your appointment, come right back. But if there's loopholes and places where people can find where they can slack off and not do what they're supposed to do, then they're gonna freaking do it. You know what I'm saying? So it just sucks sometimes, man. It just sucks. But for the most part, when we're doing our training and when we do our job, our MOS job, I like it. I like doing what we do. It's all good to me. So let me see. I think with that I answered, do I like it? Telling you about the MOS. Do I like it? I hit up pros and cons. Would you change your MOS? Would I change my MOS? Like I was saying, so as a 12 Charlie, when you move up in rank, as you move up higher and higher in rank, it's probably going to be harder for you to change your MOS. So I advise, if you join the Army as a 12 Charlie, you get in there, you know, for your first contract, you complete your first contract. If you sign up for 3, 4, 5 years, do that first contract. And then from there, I would advise, if you don't like it or if you want to try something else, go ahead and try to reclass. There's nothing wrong with that at all, man. In fact, I highly advise soldiers that want to reclass, go ahead and reclass and do what you got to do, because it's only going to help you better yourself. You're getting more skills. You know, you're learning more things that you can possibly take with you if you was to get out of the Army for some reason and go do that in the civilian life. I say freaking go for it. Anytime that you want to reclass, if you can, just do it. You just got to realize that as you move up in rank, right, you're an E5, you're an E6, and then you decide to reclass to a new MOS. You're not going to know how to do that freaking job when you get over there. So then you're going to have to be asking some of the lower enlisted soldiers that are doing what y'all actually supposed to do. You have to ask them, like, hey, what is this? How do I do this? What is this? You know what I'm saying? Or watch them do everything. If you reclass as an E6, E5, E6, E7, your job ultimately is not to like get hands on it. I think it kind of depends on which MOS. You should know like what to do, but it's not your job to go get hands on with everything. That's why you have your squad leaders or your E6s who help supervise the E5s, and the E5s are like right there with the soldiers, showing them like on hand, like, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. The staff sergeants are supposed to be sitting back and making sure that everything goes good. And then platoon sergeant, and this is just talking about the maintenance portion. Me, I come down online every once in a while and make sure that the staff sergeants are doing their job. I'm making sure that the soldiers are making sure that standards are being enforced. Soldiers are being safe, because I see it all the time. Different things that I can correct that the staff sergeants and the sergeants aren't correcting. Soldiers not wearing gloves, or soldiers like up 10 feet. They're up a certain height because they're up on top of the truck and they're not wearing their helmet. You know what I mean? Their ACH. Or somebody's dealing with some freaking dripping hydraulic fluid and they don't have their eye protection on. There's just a lot of different things that I see. And then I have to go address staff sergeants like, look, your soldiers over there doing that. You need to go get them, make sure that they're doing the right thing. So there's just a lot of things. There's a lot of good things and there's a lot of bad things also. Some things are okay, some things suck. Let me see. 12 Charlie translate into civilian world like other MOS. Civil engineering construction. Yep. That makes sense because I'll go as E3. Okay. Yeah. But all in all, Hall, I like my job. I enjoy it. It changes as you move up in rank, just like I said. And I think if you want to do it, I advise you, like I said, just do your research, check it out. You can definitely see in action on some of my videos how it is when we're actually out there doing our job. Like I have actual footage like on the bridge, what we're doing on the bridge. You see people with their tools doing things and using the ropes to pull in and operating boats and stuff like that. You see all that stuff. So yeah, I would recommend it. To me, I think it's not as hardcore as like infantry. It can be, but it's not, you know what I mean? And you just have to be strong-minded and strong-willed about, I would say, anything in the military, because really it's the people around you that are going to make your job good or bad. It's the people around you. If you got dirtbag soldiers around you all day and they're just only putting in 50% where you're over here putting in 100%, like what do you think? That's gonna be whack for you. You know what I mean? And that's a good reason for, if you wanted to, that, you know, at the certain time, once your time comes up, if you want to leave that specific duty station and go somewhere else, you can. There's always that option. Other than reclassing, you can always PCS. You can do a permanent change of duty station. I don't know why they call it permanent, because it's temporary. Like, you're not gonna go there forever. You're gonna move somewhere else, but you can always PCS. You know, there's other things you can do. Or if you're done, like, look, this life ain't for me, at least just make sure you get out on good terms. Don't get in trouble and then you get kicked out. You know what I mean? Before you go for E7, you should decide what MOS you want as your career MOS. Most definitely saying, before you go E7, choose it. Because once you get E7, like, it's gonna be hard for you to get out of that job. As leadership makes and breaks your experiences in the Army. As leadership makes and breaks your also makes and breaks. They do. We got Cherry up in the building. What up, Cherry? Cherry, I see that you're no longer super fam. It's okay. It's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, and also, Hall, if you have some leadership that just don't care, or they're not competent, they don't know how to do their job, or they don't try, or they don't motivate soldiers and stuff like that, you know, if they're always if they could be kind of toxic, you know what I mean? They're also gonna make or break your military experiences also, just like Sang said. So it's just different stuff that you gotta rock with, man, when you're in the Army in general, not just as a 12 Charlie. But yeah, it could be good, it could be bad, it just depends, man. By the way, I know I'm doing this freaking live stream in the middle of the day. Hope y'all enjoying y'all lunch. I need to get me something because I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry, bro. But yeah, we're back, man. I'm back from the field, and it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't that crazy. Kind of bad, but then again, it kind of wasn't. I just was ready to come home, you know what I mean? And that's what sucks. And it's so crazy, man. We have so much more training coming up. We're not done yet. I'm leaving again soon, you know what I'm saying? Then we got another one coming up. We have at least 3 more field training exercise that I'm tracking right now, man. We got 3 more that we got. Let's see. Yeah. We got 3 to 4 more that I'm tracking. Not to mention our sergeant's time training that we still gotta do. And even with that, I'm gonna want. I don't think we've ever done this before, but sergeant's time training, like kind of like a field exercise, like overnight sergeant's time training. You know what I'm saying? So, we can deploy a lot. I've had some 12 Charlies that's deployed a lot, especially back in the day. You know what I'm saying? 10, 15 years ago. I deployed like 15 years ago myself, 14 years ago myself. I only deployed one time. So you could, or you could not, you know what I mean? It just kind of depends. Man. And also your company's tempo is kind of going to depend on your training and stuff like that. Your non-commissioned officers, how much and what they want to do is going to depend on your training. So it's like the soldiers, I always tell the soldiers, like, if there's certain training that you want to do, bring it up, request it, because leaders aren't always going to think of, we should be able to, but we're not always going to think of certain types of training. Some of us just want to focus on our MOS. Some of us know that, we got to do, tactics and battlefield tactics and drills and stuff like that. We have to do, we might focus on bridging, but a big part of our job is also demolition, building bridges, and also demolishing bridges. So it's been years since I've actually done some demolition, so it's been freaking crazy. But overseas missions are different from deploying. Yes, overseas missions are different from deploying, because you might have an overseas mission that you only have to be there for 1 month, and deploying has kind of more. We got Cherry up in the super fan. Appreciate it, man. Did y'all hear the alert? I didn't get to hear it, man. Let me see if it's gonna be up there. And the lag is catching up now. Yes, okay. I think it went up there 2 times. I don't know. But anyway, all right, cool. Cherry, thank you for joining back in on Super Fam. I appreciate it, man. You're fine, Cherry. I was just giving you a hard time, man. But yeah, you might have an overseas mission, Hall, where you only go for like a month. I had an overseas mission where we went for a month, and it didn't count as a deployment. But the act of packing up your gear and equipment and going somewhere else, whether it's in the U.S. or outside of the U.S., that's called deploying. When you get your stuff and you move to go somewhere else to do some training or a mission, that's called deploying. But it doesn't count as an actual deployment if you don't go for longer than, I think if you go for 6 months, that can count as a deployment. But we normally deploy for 9 months. We used to deploy for 12 months or more. I've known people that deployed 12 Charlies that deployed for 15 freaking months. But I did a 12-month deployment. I know soldiers have, right now, I think the standard for the Army is 9 months, counts as a deployment. But hopping up in your vehicles and doing a convoy from freaking Mississippi to California, you deployed. You got your stuff and you freaking left. And in my mind, that's a deployment. Anytime you get your gear and your equipment and y'all shoot out, y'all ship out, that's called a deployment. For troops, it means to move into position of military action or bring into effective action, to utilize. So using your skills, our definition of it is to move into action, move into position for military action. So whether you move across overseas, whether you move, across the street, I deployed my squad from here, 20, 30 meters down the road. We moved. So that's a deployment. That's what it means. Yep, depending on the type of unit you're in, typically special operations can deploy from 1 month to 3 freaking years. That's crazy. Have a 3-year deployment. But good thing about that is when you go for those long periods like that, you always you get R&R. You get like rest and relaxation. You get to go home. When I deployed for 1 year, I got to come back to the States for 2 weeks. 14 days I got to come back to the States. Got to go hang out with the wifey and stuff like that. So Cherry said his sister's in Poland right now. I know a couple people that's in Poland too, man. So she called it a rotation. There you go. And that's what we call, instead of it being a deployment, it's a rotation. We just call it a rotation. But if you get up and go somewhere, to me, in my mind, that means you deployed. Mission critical. Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to get up here, man. And I use deployment as the time overseas that gets to overseas stripes. I got you. And to me, that's what I use it for. You know what I mean? That's the same thing I use it for. When you go overseas and you bring back some deployment, them overseas stripes, them deployment stripes, then that's when to me that counts as a deployment. But yes. So, Hall, I hope that I answered some good questions for you. Special operations world, you may not get R&R. That sucks, man. That sucks, not being able to get some R&R. Like, you're going all that time and you don't get no time to chill. I would freaking hate that. Yeah, you too, Cherry. I'm getting ready to get on Twitch here in a minute, Cherry, because I want to play some Zelda, of course. Y'all know. I got to play Zelda for 2 days. 3 days in the last 10 days while we were out there. I played on the way out to Fort Knox. I played one night. We had like a little bit of a later wake up. So I played one night while we were out there, probably halfway through the time. And then on the way back here on the bus, on the way back, I also played. So it comes with the job, I guess. Yeah, but that freaking sucks, man. 3 freaking years. It comes with the job, I guess. The good thing about deploying and you're overseas and stuff like that, it sucks at the same time because, like you're in a hazardous area, but you get hazard pay. Sometimes your freaking deployment money is tax free. Yeah, you can even re-enlist while you're out there. And if you re-enlist and you get a bonus, yeah, none of that's coming away. All of that stuff stays in there, man. So yeah, but I hope I answered a lot of your questions, Hall. I definitely appreciate Cherry for coming back and getting in this super fan business. Appreciate Sang for coming through. Roxanne also came through. But I think I don't know what I want to do. If I want to play Zelda first and then take this video up, chop it up, edit it, and put it back out there and publish it, or what, but I don't know. But yep, I'm gonna go ahead and call this one a quit one right here, you know what I mean? The live streams don't, just depend on live streams, they don't get that much action. So I do want to take this down, chop it up, and put it as regular videos, regular uploaded videos. So we'll figure that out. Most definitely, Hall, you're very welcome. Golden 5 up in here. Hi and happy Monday. Golden 5, I'm getting ready to end the live stream, man. But I do appreciate you coming through. And Hall, of course, if you have any other questions about the Army in general, I know you can hit up Sang. You can hit me up. Definitely Cherry has family that's in the military, so you can hit them up. I think the Golden 5 was or is in the Army at the same time too, so you can also hit them up. Just look for them, whatever. I'll meet you on the Twitch side, most definitely. Or you could be like me, who deployed to Malaysia. That technically wasn't a combat zone, but we did get shot at out there, but doesn't count as deployment or actual combat. That freaking sucks, man. But yeah, I hope y'all have a great day, man. I'm trying to relax because I just got back from the field. I only get this day off, and then I go back to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We get Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off though, so I do get a long 4-day weekend starting Friday. Friday is the start of my freaking weekend, not Saturday. So y'all may see me around here on the internet, maybe. We'll see what happens. But anyway, SFAM, stand up. SFAM, salute, stay focused and motivated. Get motivated up in this jank one time. Definitely appreciate y'all coming through, man. Again, big shout out. Big shout out to Hall for hitting me up in the freaking in the IG and asking me the questions and stuff. And I'm glad that I can help you get a little bit of a better idea of what it is in the Army. Do your research, Hall, before you decide if you're going to join or not. I mean, I would recommend it, but just do your research and know what you got to do. Use your benefits. Choose the right MOS for you. Take your time. Do what you got to do, okay? SFAM, I love y'all to death, man. Y'all stay focused and motivated. Your boy Thirst Lynch. I'm going to get up out of here, and I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Y'all come see me on Twitch a little bit later if y'all want to. Twitch.tv/ThursLynch. 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 Come see me over there, man, if y'all want to come hang out with me while I play some Zelda. All right? Love y'all to death. I'm about to get up out of here. Yeah!